Hi there, Harry and Charlie from Pack 1 Pick 12. We're here with Giuseppe today. He is one of the four champions of RC Turin's Limited Championship Qualifier. We're going to have a chat today, go through your experience there, what it was like playing the main event, and then moving on to being one of the four champions for Limited.
After the day one, a couple of my friends they made it to day two, and me and another teammate, we didn't, and we were thinking about, okay, what do we do tomorrow?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm gonna try maybe the standard again. There's the standard open. And I was like, why don't we try limited? And it was like, okay, maybe I give it a go. And then we look at the details, and we're like, okay, definitely, I'm gonna play limited. I don't want to play standard with this meta call again. Yeah. It's like so horrible. Yeah, it's like, right. Pull me out of my misery, please. So we decided, okay, let's sign up to the Limited Championship and let's try. I haven't played Lorwyn that much before, but he did, and so I spent the night with him a bit to talk about, okay, what's tell me your key learnings.
Okay, so you had a little debrief night before.
Yes, so he told me about the archetypes. I've done maybe 4 or 5 drafts before the event. And then I spent the night with him.
Very little experience, actually.
Like 4 or 5 drafts, like arena or 4 in person.
In person.
And did you draft it on arena at all? Or?
No.
So no arena.
You're kidding me. 4 in person drafts, and then you just went. Oh, okay.
That is pretty insane.
Dude, fair enough, man.
Yeah. No, I asked him okay, what should I do? What are the archetypes? And he told me, okay, it's better to play 2 colors. These are the available archetypes, which is basically 5 out of the 10 color combinations, and explain a bit about the bombs in the format. We chatted a bit. I know the cards. I have good memory about the cards and what they do, and also played with some bombs. So I knew, okay, if I open this card, and I explicitly call the Ashling Commander the night before.
Best card in the set,
just give me the Ashling Commander, and I win the event. And
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the highest win rate card in this set, right? On 17 lands.
It must be. I think it is.
I think it at least has been at some point. Do you want to talk us through your sealed pool then? What kind of? How did you feel opening it? Were you was it your opponent was registering your deck for you, right?
Yes. So the way the pool registration works in this type of events is you sit in front of your opponent, you register their pool, they register yours, and then you swap again.
Yeah.
Yes, they started opening their packs first. This is how it works. Someone starts opening their packs, and then you follow after. And their pool was decent. I was quite happy with their pool, and I was like, maybe my pool is gonna be worse, and you already opened some good cards. Get terrible cards now. But then I started to open my pool. The first card I pull out was the Steam Vents, and it's not great. When you open, you see so many good cards across the table, and your first card is dual land. You're shock land. It's not a great start.
Yeah.
But then yes, I think the rares I have them here because I was playing them. I was playing them all, I guess. So these were the rares that I opened in.
So yeah, as you talked about Ashling's Command, the one rare you really want to see, right? And then I can see the Goliath Daydreamer is a perfect fit for Ashling's Command because it's this insane instant spell, and the Goliath Daydreamer effectively copies it, allows you to cast it again for free. Do you want to run through the other ones as well?
Yes, absolutely. So Ashley Command, I think I opened it in pack 3 or 4, and I was completely, I was super happy about it, and of course one of the best rares in the set. But my pool was the blue in my pool was very weak. I had the Ashley Command. Another card that I was playing was this Elemental in blue, and the rest was
It should be up there with the other bombs, it really is it's crazy.
And the rest was below average, I would say, below playable cards. So I go through my pool. My opponent, at least the person sitting in front of me, was also Italian, and he was. We were chatting a bit each other's pool. And he was like, your pool looks great. I was like, thank you, your pool looks great too.
Yeah, nice.
And funny enough, when I was playing the last round of Swiss, I looked at the name. I was like, "Oh fuck! My opponent is the same opponent who registered my deck." I was like, "Good to see you here." I was like, "Win. If you win, you're in. If you lose, you're out." So it was that kind of situation. And I knew his deck. He knew my deck.
So as in the last round of the sealed Swiss.
Yes.
Oh that's right. What's your opponent?
My opponent who registered my deck, he knew everything about my deck.
Poor guy, he must have been dreading it.
He was just like, I've got to play against Ashlings, come on, Goliath Dreamer.
And then we were so tired, also a funny story, we were so tired that after the game was finished, okay, I went outside, catch some fresh air, he went outside to smoke a cigarette, and then I play the first round of top 8. I go outside and meet him again, and I say, "Hey, how is it going?" And I thought maybe he made it through. I don't know why in my mind.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't make it through. and then he told me like, "Oh, the same guy I was sitting in front in the deck building kicked me out the last round of Swiss." And I was like, "Wait, I'm that guy." Because we completely forgot.
Oh god.
That's wrong. That's so wrong.
Oh my god.
This is so,
it's like, how's it going, buddy? Like, good well.
And we sat in front of each other in the deck building. We played against each other in round 7.
Yeah.
And then
Round 7, yeah.
we completely forgot about each other a few moments after. I was like, "Oh my god, this tournament is draining my mental energy completely." And looking at my sealed pool, I started to think about okay, what are my win conditions? And this is, I think, in general, a good advice when you approach sealed. It's like you try to find pocket of synergies, but also trying to understand, okay, what is something that I can do that my opponent is not coming back from that point, because it's easy to pick all the good cards and put them together and maybe have a straightforward deck. But I think where you can really, rise above the rest of players is where you can find this synergy pockets. I will call them like this. Maybe 2 or 3 cards working well together and making something sort of an engine that it's unstoppable.
Right. So kind of like inevitability. You want to build that into your deck.
Yes, and it could be commons, it could be 2 or 3 cards that they go into a sort of a loop, and maybe you take them back and then...
Yeah, like Morkant's Loyalist, you can like play one, loop the other, get it back. Oh, I think that's the...
Okay, and then in terms of bombs, when I see this pool, I think immediately as these 2 cards as the key synergy, like what you mentioned before. I want to cast Ashley Command. If I can cast it 2 times in a row, that's a dream coming true. And then also these 2 cards working together, they are pretty powerful, I would say. And this is something that the nice thing about these events is that you can talk with other players even between the rounds. And as I mentioned before, I haven't played this set long enough to know these two cards working together. But then I speak with my friend, and he looks. And after round 1, I drew the first round. We were both very slow playing the game, and it was very long grindy game. So we drew. I go to my friend, who's I think is very good in limited, and I ask him, okay, have a look at my deck. So give me some advice if I need to maybe pull some cards in during the sideboard and something that I missed in deck building, and also tell me if you see some synergies that I'm not seeing because I haven't played this set that much.
Yeah.
And he immediately goes, okay, you have these 2 cards. This is the best combo you can do in the set.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
How
does it work?
Wait, so you had these cards in your main deck?
Yes,
you did. Okay, what is the actual combo? Because I didn't even know that was...
The combo, how it works is basically this guy. You don't need to play this. You keep it in your hand and you curve out with other cards. And then on turn 4, you cast this guy. Behold this goblin here, and then blight on itself or blight an entire board.
Do you want to explain how the card works exactly, just for people who aren't familiar?
Okay, so. This card, it's one of the champion. There is a cycle of these cards in the set. They basically there's one for each color, and they all have this mechanic of behold a card of their type. So in this case, this is the champion of the goblins. When it comes into play, you need to behold a goblin, and the card you behold, it goes exiled. I like to put it, just tack it like this. So I remember, okay, this is the card I have exiled with the champion. And when the champion leaves the battlefield, you return the exiled card to your hand.
Yeah.
So you can create this little loop with these two rares. So they are two rares, so it's very difficult to pull it off. But basically, you cast this first, behold the what's the name of this one?
It's grab.
The grab.
Yeah.
Yes. Blight your creatures, including the champion of the weird. So it's gonna die after you play.
It kills itself,
and
right?
it kills itself.
Yeah.
Exactly. It kills itself. But you blight maybe 6 or 8, so your opponent has to do the same. You both blight a lot.
Yeah.
And then when it dies, this one returns to your hand. So sometimes you can create this type of lock where every creature that your opponent play will die, because you recast this on the next turn with this tacked underneath, and this card returns a goblin from graveyard to your hand.
Yes.
So you cast this, you blight.
Yes.
It costs 7 mana to create the lock, so it's not cheap. But once you have it up and running, and maybe you have a lifelink creature or something that you can stabilize the board, then it's game over.
Yeah.
Because you can swing for 2 or 3, get the lifelink points back, and then keep blighting every turn. So it's literally a lock.
Yeah, it's like it's a board clear every turn, and you just get the cards back to play it, because as soon as you play this, you get this back to your hand, and you can even exile this again with this, right?
Yes, exactly. It's
ridiculous.
You keep going.
Ridiculous,
Every turn you keep going. So if they don't have instant removal to respond,
and did you get that off in games?
Maybe 2-3 times in
you
the
actually
Swiss,
you managed to get the cards together.
Yes, you can pull it off, because first let's say this one can be in your graveyard. So let's say the first time you cast this with another goblin, you behold another goblin, then it dies, it goes into the graveyard, and then when you draw this, you start the combo.
Of course.
So you don't need both actually to
it just
make
needs
work.
to be in your grave.
In your grave, and then you start the combo.
Right.
And so what other goblin-based synergies do you have in the deck? Do you have many?
Yes, I have a few actually. I have this guy. I think all the cycle of eclipsed cards that search and basically draws your card are quite nice, including the one for elementals. I played a few elementals, so again, pockets of synergies where you can basically pull some value cards from the goblin archetype and some value cards from the elemental archetype. I think it's always good, especially this one costing only 2 red mana.
On that, right, as well, with the Eclipse Flamekin, am I right in thinking that it finds the Actionlings command because it's a kindred elemental? So you can find the other bomb that you've got in the deck, this really powerful uncommon as well, and then the shapeshifters obviously allow you to get either side from the Eclipse Flamekins. So even though they're 2 tribes, it's meant to be like a tribal set, they work together in your deck.
Yes, this is one of the I would say characteristics of this set. You have shapeshifters as a creature type, so that means that they count as all creature types. So if you have shapeshifter, they become some sort of jolly card.
Like a Joker.
Like a Joker. So if you search for a goblin, I found a shapeshifter. I pick it, and
right.
That's why maybe these cards, I would say overall the power level is not very high. But if you consider, your pool and you see some pockets of synergies, I want to be able to hit this consistently, or the goblin consistently. I definitely play shapeshifter if I can.
So it's kind of like, instead of like these cards, right? These bombs kind of like these bombs, they raise the ceiling of your deck, and these cards kind of raise the floor of your deck, so make it more consistent when you missed your grub, you missed your champion off the boggart, you can pick one of these up and reliably still keep you in the game until you draw your powerful cards, right?
And then when you build the deck, normally you want to also have I would say, a critical mass of removal, or at least some removal. So the way I go about building the sealed or building the draft or drafting is basically I pull the rares and the bombs, like power level on the top, and then I immediately go after the removals, because again, especially in this modern standard formats where the power level is so high, someone is going to have multiple bombs, and you must be able to respond accordingly.
Especially over 7 rounds, right? Because it's not just like playing a local draft where it's 3 rounds. Like, you know that you're going to have to keep beating opponents who are also winning. So you just need that way to interact with them.
You need interaction, and again, I think 4 or 5. I think in a sealed pool, 5 or 6 maybe, it's a good amount.
Yeah.
And this is what you should aim for. I put this as an interaction spell. I mean, it's a -2/-2, so it's a sorcery speed as well. I don't think it's that great, but in sealed, especially if you know your opponent has bombs, and most likely if you're winning, they will have some bombs. I think it's a good card.
I remember we discussed at one point anti-sentence. Or was it me and Will, our other mate? I was like really high on sentence and sealed. I just think like, I remember playing it in like, it might have been one of the arena directs or something, and I was like, oh, it's like my 23rd card, and every time I played it, just like sniped like an Ashling's or like sniped some crazy high power bomb, because in sealed everyone's going to be playing their like power, right? So I definitely think the value of certain cards like anti-sentence goes up quite a lot in sealed.
There's a few other pieces. Like, I'm really interested in Requiting Hex, because like I haven't played the set an immense amount. I think Lorne's like one of the sets I've struggled with the most, actually, because of the dynamics you're talking about, where you're like essentially trying to balance the power level, the enablers, and I found combined with like the 5 archetypes travel stuff, it was quite hard. Requiting Hex, one of those cards where I found when I cast like my one mana removal spell and they're 2-drop and I'm double spelling or something, it can be really efficient. But then at the same time, like, I've had a lot of games where it just kind of like rots in my hand. Like, what was your experience with the card?
Yes, kind of the same. I know it's a very good card in standard. That's where I came across this card the most. So I was like, okay, if you see play in standards, I think it's a good card. That's why I put it in.
That's what I thought as well. Yeah.
But yes, maybe in hindsight you can think, okay, maybe there are better cards that generate more value or more efficient removals, because again, you can only catch small things, and sometimes the life you gain, it's very useful, and that's what I think it's interesting. Like, some cards just read the but yeah, another card I've been very impressed by. Well, this one was in my pool and I didn't play it. I kept it in the sideboard. Again, not to stretch my mana base too much, but I kept it in the sideboard with a clear idea. Okay, if the game is super grindy and I'm gonna need an extra resource to come over the top, maybe I can play this and splash it, because I have 2 evolving wilds and this guy. So, but really the 2 elementals here, I think they were also quite strong and synergistic with the deck. Not only you can play them or search, you can copy them with the Ashley command, which is also very nice. I made it. I copied the 6/5 a couple of times to generate that extra value, extra body, and keep the race going. But also you can find them with the Eclipse card. So this was quite neat. And the last card I want to talk about, I think it's this one. Also, when I look at this face value, I'm like, yes, 3 mana, 3/3. You blight 1 to deal 2 damage. Not great, but actually I think it's a very good card, because when it's all about eating your opponent on different lines, sometimes on different layers of the game. So if the board is completely clogged and nothing can go through, because there's no evasive threats, there's no flying, nothing, and you stare at each other for a few turns, this one become your win condition, and you must be able to read the situation and say, okay, this is my win condition now. I try to blight.
That's so cool. Yeah, that you were thinking like, because I think like often I can imagine myself looking at a sealed pool being like, okay, I'm playing like kind of a like, I don't know, like elemental stack. I've got my like key like ways I'm going to win the game. I want to like draw into command. I want to double spell with Daydream. I want to generate tons of value here. But maybe I would just like look at this card and be like, oh, this shit card, it's like random goblin, I'm not playing it. But actually thinking about like ways that your deck can win in different board states and situations, like that's a really interesting like, I don't know, way of thinking about the game. I think I probably, if it was me, I would have instantly just chucked this card to the side. But obviously it's great. It's a really, really cool
I think, yes, the modern sets, they all have this type of mechanic. It's like hidden in different flavor texts.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are like, pay 5, make it unblockable, or it's a big fat creature. I think there was one in Avatar as well, like the giant koi.
Oh, giant koi, yeah.
I love that card.
That card is so
it's
good because it enables a new win condition when you are deep in the late game. You almost run out of resources, and you are in that stage that the first player to flinch is gonna lose. Yeah. So you stare at each other, and you're like, maybe I have a removal in hand. I don't want to cast it. You have the same, and then you draw this, and it's like, okay, it's big fat creature, unblockable. Same thing. This is not big and fat, but it does the same job.
Yeah,
like,
clock. You're on a clock.
Start clocking without spending resources or tapping your mana out.
Wow, sick. Okay, and Blossom, but did you main deck this?
No, this was also sideboard.
That was a sideboard. Okay.
Did you bring in this from the sideboard in any games?
No.
Okay.
I had it there. I was like my lucky charm, but no, I didn't.
I mean, the art is so cool on this card as well. Like.
And this one, I think I mentioned it before to you guys. It's very powerful against the champions. So there's the cycle of the champions. They all have the same requirement. When you cast them, you attack a card. So it's a 2-for-1 every time you're able to lock a champion with this. It's amazing.
Yeah, it locks their exile card. They can't get that back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they cannot blight on it, and they cannot. It's not easy to get rid of it. So I think it was a great sideboard card. He won me a game actually against Merfolk champion.
Oh, so you did bring it in one game, like in game like game 2, game 3.
Game 2, game 3, because I saw they had the Merfolk champion, and we had some interesting anecdotes as well from the Swiss rounds. One guy. I remember we were like mid to late game, so maybe 5 lands each, trying to develop the board. And I was winning, but not crushing. I was clearly ahead, and I draw the anti-sentence, and I want to look at his hand. He's like, in response, I concede. I was like, what? I called the judge. I was like, can you do that? Yes, you can. In response, I concede. I don't want to show you my hand.
Oh,
I respect that. I really respect that.
I was
I guess.
The thing is that when you play these long events, and if you start winning, you're gonna play against decks with all the bombs, same as you.
Yeah.
So I think that really the edge is to make the most out of the let's say less powerful card, because you're gonna have bombs. Your opponent is going to have bombs. Try to make the most out of your less impactful cards. So when you draw that bomb, it becomes very impactful. Like I force you to make a removal on my 6/5 that already drew me a card, and or on my 4/3 trample that starts swinging every turn. It's like you must do something. Then when you're out of removal, also sequencing, it's important when you think about these events. It's like if you have 2 options and you have maybe one rare and one common that does something. Maybe I call them like idiots with legs. Maybe run out your weaker card first. Wait if they have removal. Wait how they respond. If they don't come on board, start swinging, etc. So test the water a bit, and that would be my 2 cents of advice.
Wow. Yeah, I was.
Are you seeing it?
Seriously, I was like about to ask, because I was looking at the deck and I was like, this guy just hates 2-drops. Like, I love it.
No way. Okay. So this is really funny, because Harry and I have a long-standing like kind of in joke. I think it was one night we were at my at my desk. It was like must have been like 1 a.m. or something. We had a really long day. I think we were like, I don't know, we were playing Magic all day or something. And then we were just playing like an Arena Direct, had this sealed pool, and it was a pretty cracked like Elementals pool, which was an Izzet like Elementals pool, red blue, and I started building the deck, and I was like, okay, like, you know, this is strong. We've got like six or seven 2-drops, and slowly the curve reduces. We've got like, you know, 5 or 6 interaction spells. Like, it's looking great. And then Harry just like looks at me. It's like, cut the 2-drops. cut.
Just all of them.
Just all.
Just get them
I was like, which one? And he was like, no, just all of them. Apart from this one can stay. Tam, mindless.
Tam, my 4
Tam can stay.
Yeah.
The rest just chuck them. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I don't want them.
Yeah. And the deck was amazing.
So what's the kind of theory? Talk a bit about
so my theory basically, like, because as a limited grinder, like everyone else, I end up watching loads of content creators, you know, and some better, some worse, but like you generally hear from the kind of like beginner advice channels. I really like. There's some I really like Limited Level Ups. Like, that's a great channel, and he's got great insights, but like a lot of his stuff's more focused on newer players. And one thing he'll always go back to is like, make sure your deck has enough 2-drops, like regardless of format. And you'll see all these decks which are like 5 to 6 2-drops or whatever.
Okay.
And like I basically said to Charlie, like, look, 2-drops are like just awful, because essentially if you're just like playing like random 2-1s or 2-2s or 1-3s or whatever, like if they don't fundamentally do anything, you're in some games you're basically just discarding a card, because you like play your card in 2 and then they play like a 3-mana 3/3 and now your 2-drop like literally does nothing. Like if you don't have a way to curve it out or to like use the body meaningfully or something, like then, or like in the case of Tam, it's this great Vivid enabler, so it like made sense for this Elementals deck we were putting together. But 2-drops themselves, if they're not like doing something meaningful, you actually have to justify why they're in your deck. And like the most common justification that I think we use when we're like talking about decks that we post on WhatsApp or Discord or whatever is like, we just need to not die. And there's some truth to that. It's the inevitability you've talked about, where like you have 5 and 6 drops that are amazing, or 3 drops rares that are amazing, you want to cast them. And sometimes just having like a 2/2 actually does stop you from dying. But I find if you have too many, you kind of just lose the game. And so like when I look at a curve like this, it goes against like a lot of what I think the typical wisdom drafters will hear is. And I know it like when I'm drafting Darksphere or you know, other kind of local stores, especially players who are more inexperienced, would look at a curve like this and be like, oh, this deck's like unplayable basically. But clearly it's not an unplayable deck, right? Like, so what was your thinking? Like, were you concerned about the curve, or?
So when I play sealed, I'm a bit greedy. I really want
this man.
And what you said really resonated with me, because sometimes you have 2-drops, 2/2 bears that do nothing when they come in play, just prevent you to die. But your opponent is gonna think the same. So I think, especially if you start winning and face stronger opponents, they probably build their deck with the same logic in mind, that they want to squeeze the most value out of their pool, out of their cards.
Yeah.
So I think that's the right approach. You don't need to, especially in the long term, I don't think you need to be too worried about, you know, okay, I'm gonna die on turn 3 because they just curve out and beat me down, because this is not the case in sealed, at least in my experience. So I prefer to have maybe a slower curve or a slower start, but with very high quality 3-drops, 4-drops, 5-drops, and then I can catch up to my opponent, to maybe the 1-drop 2/2 bear, 2/2 bears, and then I cast a 3/3 and it's like, okay, the fun is over.
I think that's what.
Do you remember any like certain plays or punts that you made in these sealed games? Like any crucial moments where you were like, that was a really hard decision and you didn't know like if you were making the wrong decision, or you got punished for playing badly?
I remember 2 funny cards. I lost. I drew the game. One was turn 1. Round 1. The Swiss. I drew this game when. We went to time. It was 5 additional turns, and I was pretty much ahead. I had very good board, and my opponent goes from the top, the giant, and makes everything.
Curious Colossus.
A 1/1.
What can you do?
And then I was like, okay, I cannot win this. I need to play defense now. Start blocking, chump blocking everything, and finally we couldn't kill each other. So we were like, okay, we draw the first game. And similar situation. I was this time I was really crushing my opponent, but it was like a crazy game because I was able to stabilize the game down to maybe 2 or 3 life after blighting 20 with my goblin combo. And we go to time again, and I am ahead. I finally start drawing land into land. And so I'm like start swinging. I stabilize the game, and there's like 1 turn each. And it was like at 4, I was like at 3, and he goes like from the top, the draw, and there's like the fog. You know there is like a mythic rare that fog.
Morning Tide's Light. That one. Yeah. Oh, where you exile everything and then it comes back and they can't do damage to you. Oh
yes.
No.
And it draws
that's
that one.
So
like,
sad. Like,
okay.
Oh, that's rough.
And then we drew that game. So
is that card good? Is that good?
I don't think it's like a consistently good card. It could serve a purpose.
It was like the first spoiler I think we ever spoke about from that set, and I was just like, I don't know. Like,
I think it's better in draft where you have a game plan around it, where you can basically go very aggressive, and then when maybe we Kith King, low to the ground, very aggressive decks, and then at some point you just remove all the blockers, swing for lethal. It could be okay, but in sealed I don't think it's that great. I know going into the draft that the elf archetype was very strong, and my friends told me, okay, if you draft, just draft elves. And
really, like kind of soft force it a bit.
Soft force it because they told me, okay, if you don't know what you're doing, just pick a lane, pick an archetype, and soft force it.
I love that.
That's so bold.
And I was like, okay, let's see what I open. The first pack I open a shock land again, and this card here, the Eclipse Elf. So I was like, I look at the pack. There's no good removals. There's not much else, and I was like, okay, that's not a bad first pick. I guess I like this card. All the cycle of Eclipse card, they give you card advantage, card selection. I think it's very good. So I pick it. And then pack 2 I got past this guy here, which is one of the, I think, best cards in the set. But also there was the choice with the Goblin command.
Krenko's command.
A Grub's command. Right?
Grub's command. So I received the pack. They count the cards in front of you. They pass it. It's like pot drafting. So you open the pack. It's all shuffled, but then you go through, and I like to pick to put the pick on top, like look at my first pick, like this sort the pack, and yes, I see this card. I'm like, it's an elf. It's pretty good. It's gonna be my pick, and I in that moment I think, okay, if I pass this very good goblin card, maybe the person next to me is going to be a goblin, which means they're not going to touch green on pack 2, or pack 1, and then pack 2 they pass me all the green, and finally they didn't pick it as well. They pass it.
Really? That's kind of crazy, actually. It's like
they didn't pick it, and so not the next person, or the person after was in
Goblins getting a lot of. I think they got a lot of disrespect in this format for sure. But it wasn't close. You weren't like deciding for ages. Like, oh, maybe I should take the.
I would have been sweating. Like my hands would be sweating. Looking at these 2 cards. Like,
Yes, I was thinking about it, but you don't have much time because it's time draft, and they call it like 50 seconds.
That's it.
5 seconds.
The judge says like you can't speak, right? And you have to like do like head down, look at the cards, pass them. Yes. It's a very different drafting experience to like playing on Arena or playing at locals.
Exactly. You cannot look at your cards either. You can only look at your cards in between packs.
Yeah.
So you need to start. You put all the cards in a face down pile. Then when the first pack is over, then you can look at your cards. So if I were to go down the route of okay, I pick a splash card in my pick 2, it's also another step in your mental tracking of
Sure.
okay, now I'm thinking about 3 colors already, or maybe I'm thinking about ditching 1 color and go full gobbling, and it's a kind of putting an extra step in your process that it's going to be tiring.
It's true. Like the cognitive load is like so much higher. I've had that in OSCQ topics where during the draft, I remember for Edge of Eternity is like the one that qualified me to Turin. I like took the blue 7-drop from Edge of Eternity. It's like this giant dragon thing that I thought was really good.
Starwinder, was it?
No, the dragon. It gives. I don't know. It's not even a dragon. It's like an elemental. It's like this cloud thing. It's like costs 7 mana. It's really good.
Yeah. Sorry, I know the one.
Yeah.
Flying.
Yeah, we'll put the
Mouth of the Storm.
There you go.
Mouth of the Storm.
Yeah. Mouth of the Storm is a great call. Like,
You remember all the names, so it's incredible.
I played too much.
Like I had this clearly like super open lane Orzhov deck where like I got like 3rd pick the 2 mana 4/1 that's incredible. I got all these like really good black rares and stuff. And then I was thinking like, oh, do I stay open for blue for Mouth of the Storm? And I remember being like halfway through like pack 2, and then like even in the beginning of pack 3, I was still thinking like, can I splash blue? And like, honestly, if I just locked in, like I would have, my deck was still insane, but I would have had an even more insane deck because I think I just like psyched myself out.
Yeah.
I know like we talk about that a lot. Like when you're in the middle of a draft, like sometimes you have to stick to those like fundamentals instead of
it's
just.
better to not overthink it sometimes, right? Just draft a good game plan.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the option to pick between 2 great cards, you're not too conflicted,
Yes.
Okay, I'm not leaving anything on the table. I pick a great card, I'm happy, and move on. So yes, these were my first 2 picks. The rest was quite mid, a lot of good common cards. I think I picked this one quite early as well.
Okay.
That's great.
This one. I like all the elves I saw. I was just trying to cut them because in pod draft it's a bit different than arena, maybe where people don't really care about the others. But here, you want to be more conscious of what you're passing and what you're cutting. So if you cut your color, in my head I was like, okay, I pass a very good red-black card to my left. I want to cut all the green, so they receive a clear signal.
I see.
Green is closed. There's no green coming.
Stay out my lane.
Stay out of my lane. I'm clearly in green. I cut all the green cards. I give you the red-black bomb, but just pick it and do what you want.
Yeah. You can have all the black, like whatever. Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm gonna see some black on this side as well. So on pack 3, I'm gonna see some couple of removals, but I really want the green cards for me. And this is how it kind of played out in the end, I think, because there's also 2 archetypes that play green cards. There's Kifkin and Elves, I think, they don't overlap that much. I think the Kifkin cards are clearly Kifkin cards, and Elves cards are, So I think the strategy was correct. We were 2 elf players in the pod, and we faced each other in the final. So elves was really like, I think, very strong compared to the other archetypes. And also an interesting feature of the draft is that when you open a double face card, like
grab.
Cycle, grab, there's a cycle for each archetype. Double face cards. You need to declare it, announce it to the table, show it around, and say, okay, I open this, and everyone knows you open it. And if you pick it, you must put it first in your pile, so everyone knows that you picked that card. So in pack 2, I opened that. The first pick was quite easy. I picked the rare, which was this one. And this one I played it against before at the pub. So where
we draft on Tuesday.
We draft on Tuesday. And I know this card is insane, especially if you have like elf deck. You can basically reanimate the whole graveyard with 1 card. And I was like, okay, I slam dunk this. No regrets about the rest. I think I read the other cards, but I was like, okay, I already know what I pick. Just to, I think it's good practice to also think about, okay, this is the pack. What are the cards that can probably come back to me? So you also do this exercise. Even when you open a slam dunk card or pick, you're like, okay, I pick this 100%. I have 55 seconds remaining. What can I do with that? And trying to get some advantage and maybe think, okay, if these two cards come back to me, that means that I'm in the right lane, or maybe what should I choose in case I receive these two cards back, and start thinking about your next picks, because maybe you have some spots in your curve that you need to fill, and you start thinking, okay, I already have the 8 mana bombs, I don't need 5 or 6 mana cards. Maybe I need to find 2 or 3 drops, and then if they come back, maybe this my preferred choice.
So I mean I'm surprised. Like, I've played this card a bit, and I think I had some decks where I was like, okay, look, this is going to be my mad top end, and then I looked at my deck and I didn't really have like that much mill or like that many ways to put stuff in the graveyard. Like, right now I'm seeing,
but elves is like
that's the theme.
Deck, right?
But you do need to get the cards for it, like the Tilling, I don't know, the Dawnhand Eulogist.
I got 2 of these. Going back to the discussion we had the night before, my friend told me many times this 3/3 elf is like the mythic rare of the format.
Yeah, it's a mad common. Yeah, so
if you open it or you see it, just pick it. It's like one of the best cards in the format.
It's so good.
I had when I was playing pre-release, I had someone like put 2 of these in their deck, and I looked at it, and they were like asking me for advice. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if that card's that good. Like, and now I look back at that, I'm just.
It's difficult to evaluate in a vacuum, I think, because also when I read this, I'm like 4 mana 3/3 mana. It's okay, you gain a bit. No, it does so much. It does so much because again,
menace as well, like stabilizes, helps you get in. I mean, and like it just enables like all the elf graveyard synergies. Like,
would you say it's the Siege Rhino of this set?
Yes,
it's basically Siege Rhino, right?
Siege Rhino.
Nice.
Couple of considerations that I made in my head when building this deck and also picking. I was like, I'm pretty high in the standings, so that means that I'm gonna be on the play most of the time, because when you play the finals of this tournament, you don't roll the die, but you
whoever has the highest standing.
Yes, you look at you look at your standings, and so. I knew that going into the top 8 that I'm gonna be first on the play most of the time. So that was also my thinking. I want to build a low curve deck that I can consistently play drop 2, drop 3, and you see the difference here between the one the pool we saw before and this one. It's more streamlined, a lot of 2 drops, a lot of 3 drops.
It's a totally different game plan, right?
I think the 2-drop quality is like absurdly high as well. Like these cards all have like a really meaningful place in the deck. The Skullblade Scouts provide the mill. There's just like really good ramp. This thing's just a great beater. This thing, just slight card selection, but it also jams up to the ground. Something that takes me back as well, as you're saying with curving out, is that you've got these like 2 or 3 cards that are like really good at making random bodies useful, right? Like you've got the equipment for the random 2/2s. You've got this brilliant combat trick. I love this card personally. Go on.
Absolutely. I was about to say, if I must pick a couple of overperformers among the common and the uncommon, because I have 1 bomb, but that's it. The rest are common.
Is that the only rare?
The only rare.
That's the only rare.
Yes. So for me, this card here was definitely overperformer, especially being on the play. When you start putting pressure on your opponent and they start, okay, I need to tap out, make a blocker, and then I start to trade, and then bam, kill your creature, trample over, and my creature now becomes even a bigger problem. I think this was definitely one of the overperformer for me, as well as this guy here, the 4/4 common. Such a good card. It's every time it comes down, if it's like
it's so good,
board stall or against I played against Merfolk in the semi-final. he couldn't trade with this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Merfolk cannot trade with this. It's like a 4/4. You cannot trade with it. It's like every time you jump block, and especially if you start to get low life, it's like okay, I need to jump block, jump block, jump block. Okay, you make a lot of 1/1, but every time I swing, it's like jump block, jump block, jump
And
block.
it plays two roles, right? Because you can either just like curve out and you have a 4/4 on turn 4, which is like really good. But alternatively, if you get in a board stall, like it's so hard to play into because it gives you a mana sink and it lets you make use of your resources.
Yeah. Let's talk about like I'm just really interested in how I think this deck is a bit I don't know, deceptive, right? Because it looks like a curve out deck, which it is. Like you can play all these things on 2 and then play something on 3 and then 4 and like get in. And you have like combat tricks to like help you get there. But actually, it plays the value game really well, and all of your creatures carry combat tricks like these two. And actually this really effectively. You've got 2 lifelinkers here. You've got a lifelinker here. This one you want to be able to turn it sideways, right? To generate value.
Yeah.
You can like this card and this card and this card all like allow your creatures to generate loads of value with their I'm about to say right clicks with their with their attack. Yeah, too much notes.
Oh god.
No, yeah.
Attack hold button.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can play the value game. You get like equip value. You've got a mana sink in here. So you know like I want to ask, in how many of your games did it come down to more of a grindy kind of finish rather than like just a
It was always a grindy finish.
Right.
It was always a grindy finish, and this was the key card sending me over the top most of the time. In fact, in the final, I think I had the option to play this, but I had very little cards in my deck, so I didn't want to mill my
Oh, wait, so you didn't play it?
I kept this in my hand. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and in the final, everyone was a shark. Like in the sense that everyone played so tight, so you're not allowed to make mistakes. But if you make a mistake, you lose the game. This also again mental toll when you play the entire day. You know, you need to plan for a final or a top 8. It's again very draining. I think I slept 12 hours after the finals. In fact, I offered him, when you reach the final, you can change the prize structure. And I saw his deck before, because we were playing next to each other. And I saw he had, first of all, the dual face card was like the elf, the rare elf. Tristan, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that one I knew because he must declare it.
Okay, sure.
And then I saw when we were playing next to each other in the semis, the Tristan command as well. So I was like,
cool. Tristan Gloom.
His deck is insane. He has a lot of rares.
Yeah.
I must be careful. And before the final, I offered him. Before we play the game, I asked him, "Do you want to go to this event if you qualify?" And he said yes. And I said, I want to go too. So let's restructure the pricing structure. And I said, let's make it a bit more sweet for the loser. So we said, okay, we agree. If you win, you get the qualification, and if you lose, you get all the boxes.
Oh, I would be so down for that. Yeah, I would prefer
that. Feels good, honestly. I'd be very happy to say that.
And then, because we were playing elves, talking about the self-milling, it goes like turn 4 this, mill Tristan and Tristan command.
You milled his bone!
It's awful.
That's rough. You didn't have the Morkan's loyalists to get back the command.
No. We were laughing. It was more relaxed. I think the final, we were both enjoying the game.
That's really sweet. Yeah.
Semi, we were more. You see with Italian players, different environment, very tense. You know, a lot of like you declare here. No, you cannot go back. You know, you cannot undo anything. You know?
Yeah. Would you say your fellow Italians are more intense than English players? Really? Okay.
Really interesting.
Yeah. Would you say they're better?
Not better,
Really?
not necessarily better, but more. They take this game more seriously. I would say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But with this Croatian guy, I really had a lot of fun. Like we made some jokes. At some point, I made a silly mistake. Like he played the 6/5 vivid,
Wallbang Pummeler.
rich trample.
Yeah.
and I was last game of the day. I completely forgot he had reach. So I was okay, swing.
I've done this.
Oh no!
And I was like, he goes block.
Yeah.
I was like, block. What do you mean block?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, secret reach. I don't know. Yeah, secret reach.
It is secret as well, isn't it? It's like when I'm playing limited at the moment, like every other minute I'm looking at my opponent's card just on the art and I'm going like, does that have reach? And I'll read it and I'll just be like, please confirm for me whether this has reach or not, because yeah, it's so hard to tell.
Yeah, like it's like does this card have a reach vibe? I don't think it has a reach vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This card has reach. I can tell you that.
It does, yeah. It doesn't look like it has reach.
Yeah.
So in the final, I boarded this in against the secret reach. I was like, okay, if you block my stupid flyer, at least I'm gonna kill your guy.
Wow.
Did you think about attacking and going like, oh shit, the reach again, just to
Yes,
combat
but
track
at the
it?
same time, I cannot cry too much on the. We say you cannot cry too much on the spilled milk, you know. So you already made a mistake. It's already on the floor. What can you do? Just move on and think about the next.
That's good.
And I was in a winning position already because I literally counted his deck. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count 9 lands on his board, and I'm like, you have how many cards here? 9. Okay, so maybe
Like 2
most
spells.
of them are 2
Lands,
spells.
yeah.
If you are not careful, you're gonna mill yourself.
Yeah.
And in fact, he did mill himself in game 1.
Wait, he milled himself in game 1?
Yes.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay,
pretty
so the
cool.
game just went the whole whole 9 yards.
Yes. And game 2, so he milled the bombs. Game 2, he starts. He has a decent start, and then we trade some resources. We trade some resources again, and then at some point I have enough mana to cast this, and he goes the auntie's. Look at your hand.
Yeah.
And he looks at my hand. It's like, you cannot pick anything. I have no permanence. And but he can see this card. And I show him this card, and he was like, I guess I lose. I think so.
I remember the very first time I cast an Archie sentence, I looked at my opponent's hand, they had a command in it, I was like, I'll take that, and he was like, no, it's not a permanent. I was like, well, this card's useless.
Yes. So he missed on the discard.
That's hard.
And he finally see my bomb for the first time. And he goes like,
Oh god.
okay, I'll cast this, return all the creatures, and he conceded after 1 turn, basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
So that was the whole experience. I think again the deck on paper looked okay. I would say nothing crazy,
Yeah.
but he played out very
I gotta say, if I saw this deck, like if it was like posted in a Discord or WhatsApp, I feel like this is getting 7 wins on Arena. Like I would 100% say this is like a trophy deck. I don't know about you. Like I think this is like
I think
very
it's
trophy.
I mean, it's like one of, I think, yeah, I look at the deck and I do think it is amazing.
Do you think we should
but
like
it's-
poll people? Like we should have something like how many wins do you think this deck would get on Arena? Like we
Yeah,
post this on
we
separately.
can do a poll. We can
Yeah.
see what people would say. But I think it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of that every single draw in the deck is like a pretty good draw.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't have like that many like random like farty creatures that
The
you
Wicker Folk,
play,
like a
and like
Wanderer, yeah.
it's like not like you're pretty happy to draw any of these cards in your opening hand. You're like, feels good. Like the player feels pretty good. And then if all of your cards feel pretty good to play and go towards like a fairly cohesive game plan, then it's going to consistently be like, like a pretty solid deck, like B plus deck.
In fact,
yeah.
I haven't lost a single game in the top 8. So this one went 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. So
That's good.
Can you repeat that after this?
Yeah.
So sorry, you said you didn't drop a game in it. In the
yes,
top 8.
in fact, I didn't lost a single game with this deck in the top 8. So 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 to everyone. And I had a lot of fun against the Merfolk deck in the semis. It was just super grindy game and really like very high quality cards. They had like they had a lot of bombs. That's the thing. Like they had the Merfolk that switch side.
Sig.
Sig, yeah.
They had another bomb, the Abigail. What's the name? The bird, 1/1 bird.
Abigail, first year, yeah.
Oh,
It gives you a flying lifelink first, right?
It makes things lose ability as well.
Yeah.
I think in draft is one of the highest win rates in terms of
Oh, really?
raw power.
So that
It's so good, especially if you curve out and you make a 3-2.
Flying
Three to
first
flying
round
first
lifelink.
round.
Yeah, that's
I guess you can
nasty,
do that. Yeah.
And then I boarded in against against him, I had the destroy flying creature just to get rid of Abigail, and then also this one against Merfolk. Against Merfolk was quite good because they were all 2/2s. So at some point I can trying to kill your 2/2.
Nice.
Wow.
This is not a great card, but
I was gonna say it's crazy to me. Like I'm looking at this, like Moonglove Extractor is a card I'm like so generically kind of down on, and I think it makes actually a lot of sense that you included the Extractor over this. But I would almost be like tempted to play the.
Yes, my reasoning behind was just I just want all elves.
Yes.
So when it cast
I
this,
love
like,
it, yeah.
I return everything. Boom.
No,
This guy drafts four decks in person, rocks up and is just like,
oh no. Oh god.
no, fair enough.